everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps. My name is Katie Carson. I thought we should make a Shamrock soap. Now for all you OG Royal Court members, you know I had a thing for Ireland for years. But I've never actually made like a leprechaun, you know, St. Patrick's Day Irish themed soap. Now I talk a lot in this video, just forewarning, and this soap will be released with the March collection. And yes, by the way, if you haven't heard the news, we're actually going back to the original way that Royalty Soaps has done collections, which is to have them be themed. You guys really miss that? I kind of miss doing that. So every single month now, there will be a themed collection with a themed sticker, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. This month's theme is highly specific. In fact, I will put my Pinterest board up so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. I was heavily inspired by the London flower market. I really love the Peggy Portion Instagram, rain on cobblestone streets, an old world feel, kind of Anne of Green Gables a little bit. There's a little bit of cottaginess in there, a lot of rain, a lot of flowers, a lot of here comes spring. And like I said, I'm gonna be chatting a lot in this video. It's just one of the most fun soaps that I've made in a really long time, so I hope you guys enjoy, and it will be available March 5th. So if you purchase it pretty soon here, you could actually have this bar in time for St. Patrick's Day. Can I just say, before we even begin, this is the most excited I have been to make a soap in like 8 months. I'm not even joking. I don't know why. It feels like a childhood dream is coming true. I'm gonna start by pouring my lye water solution into my oils. The recipe I'm using can be found in the description box below in case you would like to use it to make your own soap. If you're a beginner, this has some oils in it that are more expensive and harder to find, so I suggest you use my beginner basic recipe. You can find that in the description box of the Royal Creative Academy videos. And now for the almost never done next step, we're going to measure our accent colors when we split this thing. I'm always such an eyeballer, but I really feel like I have to absolutely do this design justice. I cannot mess it up. It has to be perfect. So I'm gonna tear on my scale a container that's exactly the same as the one my soap is in. I'm just gonna place that on there, hit the tear button on my KD 7000 scale. You can find this on Amazon, at Brambleberry, Wholesale Supplies Plus. It's like the most basic scale soap makers use. Then I'm gonna put all of my soap batter on here. It's 146.35 ounces. And then, because I'm trying to hurry up and move along, I'm gonna tell Siri that number and have her divide it by 3. Could I do it? Yes, I'm capable. I did make it through 4th grade math, but my pride is not so high that I should do that on a piece of paper when doing it on Siri would take me 4 seconds. Hey Siri, what is 146.35 divided by 3? 48.733. So we're gonna do 48.75. Hey guys, just a quick commercial break to talk about our amazing sponsor, Acorn TV. I personally love British television, and Acorn TV makes it super easy for me to binge watch my favorite shows, including Foyle's War and Doc Martin. It's also all commercial-free content and available for just $5.99 a month. It's also super easy to stream. You can download the Acorn TV app so that you can watch via your Apple or Android devices, or you can watch on your Amazon Fire TV, Google Chromecast, Roku, and more. One of their newest shows is called Under the Vines, and it stars Rebecca Gibney from Winter and Charles Edwards from The Crown. This dramedy follows 2 unlikely city slickers who inherit a failing vineyard in rural New Zealand. Despite neither having ever done a hard day's work in their lives and both despising the other, they must somehow make the vineyard successful so they can sell up, split up, and get out of there. You can try Acorn TV for 30 days by using the promo code ROYALTYSOAPS, and don't worry, I've left you a link down in the description box so you can click on it super easy. Once again, all you have to do is head on over to acorn.tv and enter the promo code ROYALTYSOAPS for a 30-day free trial. Thanks again, Acorn TV, for sponsoring today's video, and let's hop on back into said video. Here are my completely equal containers. I know. No, hold your applause. It's fine. Let's talk about our colorant additives. So we're gonna go green, white, green. Now for the green, I'm using Radioactive Green plus Green Vibrance. So Radioactive Green is from Mad Micas, Green Vibrance is from Nurture Soap, and together it's just gonna make this bright, springy shamrock color. I felt like Green Vibrance on its own probably wasn't gonna be strong enough, so I added a little bit of neon, which, hot tip, that's what I typically like to do if I need to brighten up a color, especially yellows. Yellows have a tendency to dull in cold process. If you add a little bit of neon yellow to your regular yellow color, it'll brighten it up past saponification, so it'll make it last. I'm gonna add the exact same green blend into my third container here. Put a little soap in there and mix it around. That just helps you get every little bit of colorant out. It just picks it up and grips it really good. Ooh, this is gonna be a talky video, I can tell. I'm in such a good mood today. Okay, and then to all the containers, I'm gonna be adding some titanium dioxide. Now, the titanium dioxide I like to use is water soluble. I just find it's a little bit stronger in my personal soap creations, though there are plenty of other soap makers who prefer oil soluble titanium dioxide. And I have with me here some warm water. I just wanted to show you guys how I mix it up. I'm just gonna take a little pipette here, which of course you can reuse over and over and over again because it's just holding water, and add a little bit at a time. It doesn't take much to take the powder into liquid form, and if you add too much water, it may create glycerin rivers in your soap, which of course are fine. It doesn't mean your soap is bad. It's just a cosmetic imperfection that I try to avoid when possible. The titanium dioxide has been added to all three containers, so I'm going to remove these two layers and we're going to work on the first one. Now it's time to add my fragrance oil into the first layer. This is Green Irish Tweed from Nature's Garden mixed with some kaolin clay. Let me tell you something. Green Irish Tweed is a favorite for all different people at all different ages. It's a duplication scent of Irish Spring soap, okay? People love that fragrance oil. It always does super well for me. It sticks very well in cold process soap, and almost every soap supplier that carries fragrance oils has it. I'm just gonna blend this up real quick with my stick blender. And there is our first layer ready to go. Now this does look a little more dingy than it will tomorrow. Green Vibrance always ends up looking a strange sort of green before the saponification takes place. So I'm not worried about that. Kind of looks like a Shamrock Shake from McDonald's. Do you agree? I'm gonna pour long ways into my molds today so that I can try to get the most even pour possible. This fragrance oil performs super well in cold process, but I have blended it a little past its prime. That way the layer can set up and I can add our mica line. I don't like waiting around. Now I'm gonna give these a good tap on the floor. If you're getting air bubbles in your soap, chances are you need to tap it down better. Or alternatively, your stick blender head is old and you need to replace it. Those are the two primary causes for bubbles in all of my soap creations. Now let's do a mica line. I cannot wait to show you this color. This is King Tut Gold from Mad Micas. It is the most shimmery, most yellow, most leprechaun's pot of gold color I have ever come across, because it is such a yellow gold, even more so than my favorite 24 karat gold mica from TKB. So using a tea strainer, I'm gonna add a little bit of this gold right there, and then I am just going to tap, tap, tap all the way down the soap. Now, this mica line, because it is next to a faint green and a white, may or may not be super visible. I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna do my best. That is looking perfect. I did have to add a little bit extra gold than I allotted, but I'm not worried about it. I'm not gonna clean up the sides of my mold yet because I have another mica line to do. I am simply going to mix up my next layer and we'll pour it in. Time for our white. It is just runny enough and just thick enough to pour on top. Thank goodness. Look at the difference between me tapping it down and me not tapping it down. It really, really helps things out. Time to add a little more gold. All right, last layer going on here, looking kind of thickums. It's been sitting for a while. All right, and that's what the finished top looks like. Now, of course, I'm gonna clean everything up, wipe off my table, get everything looking perfect, and then we will put the soap frosting on top. All right, guys, we are ready to go. So using the Royalty Soaps Soap Frosting Club recipe, piping bag and piping tip, I'm gonna just pipe 3 dollops across the top of each bar here. I did wait till my soap frosting was set up just a little bit more so that it would be super frilly and defined. Sometimes I like for things to be a little less defined so it fills in really good, but for this soap, because there is glitter on top, I just wanted it to be a bit more frilly. Also because we have a mica drizzle. As you guys already know, I was obsessed with Ireland growing up. I still would love to go. It just wasn't in the cards for me. Oddly enough, my best friends and my husband have all been to Europe, and it just never worked out. There was never the opportunity for me to go. I always say it's because once I got over there, they would never get me back over here. So I cannot be trusted to go over there because I'd fall in love and stay forever. And of course, now that I have children, it's just not as practical. I know that there are a lot of people who still travel with their kids, but with Royalty Soaps and all the needs therein and making videos for you guys, it would just take so much planning to get me over there. I used to listen to Irish music in my free time, specifically like old Irish tunes, sea shanty tunes, all that kind of music when I was probably 12 to 17. It was a really, really long phase for me. I've always been that type of person who has phases. Like, my mom could very clearly point out like all of my phases growing up. I had an iPod obsession. I had a cheetah obsession. I had a surfing obsession. I had literally never been to a real beach before, but it was right around the time that Soul Surfer came out, and I was so obsessed. And then as I got older, Downton Abbey, all things the UK, like it all kind of coincided together. But the love for Ireland was really, really young. I was probably 10 when that started, well before the new British invasion with One Direction and stuff like that was even cool. Now, let's put on some drizzle. I got that King's Tut Gold again because I just feel like it's just gonna level up the tops of these bars. And I'm gonna do it just on top. That way it doesn't make any sort of discoloration on the inside of the soap. Sometimes when you add grays, they end up looking brown whenever you cut the bar, and I don't want that. So I'm just gonna put that on top. Also, every year during spring break, we would go to Houston. That's where my mother's parents live, so my grandma and my poppy. And we would go to the Houston St. Patrick's Day Parade. They have a huge parade, and there's an Irish pub on 1960. Shout out to all you Houstonians who know what I'm talking about. There was an Irish pub that would do like crawdad boils, and they would have traditional Irish food, and they would throw beads and stuff to kids. Like, think kind of Mardi Gras, but on a much smaller scale. Lots of Irish music, and that was just some of the most magical times. It almost always rained, and my poppy would get these rain ponchos for us from the dollar store. We thought that was so much fun. Okay, all the gold is on. Let's talk about the glitter. Y'all are not ready for this glitter blend. It is from The Good Glitter. I'll show it to you in the bag. This is a limited edition release of Leprechaun Kisses. I actually got in touch with Brittany, who's the owner of The Good Glitter, before this was officially released because I needed it for this video. I knew she was gonna put together a perfect glitter blend. If you use my code ROYALTY, you can get 15% off your first order from The Good Glitter for all your arts and craft projects. projects, your soap making, listen, it's biodegradable, eco-friendly. Everyone should be switching over to this type of glitter. No more plastic glitter. So I am just going to sprinkle that on top. Oh, yes, 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 yes. This looks so good. Oh, my little Katie heart is so happy finally after so many years. A Shamrock soap, an Irish soap, and now, of course, to top it off, the Shamrock embeds. Now, I'm not entirely sure where these things are from. I think Nature's Garden has a little like embed mold for shamrocks, but I'm pretty sure this is just a chocolate mold. I don't even think that it's a real soap mold. Like, it's not made out of silicone, but there's so many of them. If you want to make a shamrock soap, I promise you'll find an embed mold because they're just everywhere. There's also going to be a shamrock stamp on this soap, and it fits our theme for this collection so well. Like, it just all came together in such a beautiful way. It could be in the future I decide to add a little bit of a green drizzle on top too, but I wanted to start just with the gold here, and I'm really loving it with the green glitter. 2021 was just kind of a difficult year. I think I've already said that. I had some health issues that I had to get through. I felt like I was in a slump all year long, and even though there were some absolutely incredible parts of last year, like getting to go to Florida with my kids and getting to, celebrate 10 years of business, there's just some years that take it out of you more than others. I mean, that's life. But for this year, I just feel so much more enthusiasm. I really feel like I got to take a deep breath and kind of reassess, and I'm really just falling in love with soap making all over again. And after making soap for 10 years, I'm kind of surprised that that could happen, but when you find your craft and you find your thing, it just makes sense that there will be seasons of being frustrated with it and then seasons of being in love with it again. And I'm glad that I can experience the love after 10 years. Last little embed here, and it's time to spritz with rubbing alcohol. Now, you guys know, once you put a biodegradable glitter like this, it can kind of break down if you add too much alcohol to it. So I always spritz lightly, and I try to focus on the parts that actually need it, which are our glycerin soap embeds, okay? Like, the whole soap doesn't actually need it, just the embeds. So I'm just gonna spray those, and there you go. Our Shamrock Spring soap is done. Let me bring you guys in for a close-up. And here it is up close, looking like an OG Royalty Soaps creation. My entire room smells like Irish Spring soap. That is like a tongue twister for me, but it smells so good in here. I cannot wait to cut these. We'll be back in 18 to 24 hours to do so after this quick commercial break. Guys, just look at the side profile of this soap. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna use my soap cutter, Evangeline. We're gonna push down very gently. That gold is something else. It really is. Okay, you ready? Let's pull one out from the middle. Oh my gosh, look at those mica lines. I'll try to get you as close as I can to the camera. It's so beautiful. I absolutely can't. Also, I'm gonna take these end pieces off. These are going to be such cute little soap samples. This is just the absolute most fun I've had in so long. And the smell, you guys, it does smell just like a bar of Irish Spring. So if you really like that smell, this is doing it justice without smelling too much like chemicals. The bars of soap that I've smelled from Irish Spring sometimes have just a hint of like a chemical smell to them. This is like all the sweet and fresh nuances of that fragrance without any chemical overtones. So that's really, really nice. I am just loving it. I'm gonna have to remember my little concoction for this green too, because it's really delicious looking. It kind of reminds me of key lime pie. Okay, time for the question of the day. I would like to know, what is your favorite dream country to visit? So a country you have not visited yet that you really want to go to and it's on your bucket list. Obviously, you guys know mine is Ireland. I also would really like to go to Italy. The Italian countryside just looks so dreamy and so picturesque, and the weather looks absolutely phenomenal. Enough about me. I want to know about you. What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section below. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Leave us a comment down below. Are you excited about us going back to the themed soap collections with all the new designs? That's something I kind of forgot to mention in the intro, is that there will be more new designs and less throwback designs, which was something else apparently everybody missed, and I also kind of missed as well. So new stuff, and also there is a product launch coming. I've been saying this for 2 years. It will all make sense really, really soon. I'll explain the whole situation. We'll do a video. It's coming. I promise. Thanks for listening to me chat. Be sure you do something fun for yourself today, whether that's trying a food from the favorite country you would like to visit, or maybe decorating your house for the next upcoming holiday that you and your family or friends like to celebrate. I don't really care what you do, just be sure you do something fun for you, and I will see you guys in the next video. So until then, bye for now.